Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my resin mistake. So I made a batch of resin that I ended up wasting, and I came on here to talk about it so that you don't make my mistake. I didn't mix my resin properly. That was one of the mistakes that I made. It ended up having this squishy texture to it. Some of them were really sticky and just, it never fully cured. And so I just had this blob sitting in my molds, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how am I gonna clean this out? And then some of the pieces dried better than others. The pieces where I didn't add coloring to it, they hardened, but not all the way. They were very squishy. The other problem that I had was that when I was curing them and I let them sit, they were in an environment that was way too humid. We just had a storm. The workspace I was using was just so small and there wasn't a lot of ventilation. Okay, so here is another, this is probably the biggest mistake that I have made. This is a damaging mistake. Are you ready for this? I use super glue to try to fix my resin pieces. So the part of the resin piece where the jump ring is supposed to go is, it came out with a huge bubble. It was missing, so I couldn't put a jump ring in it, and the earrings were so beautiful. I loved this pair. I got like this beautiful cheetah print design. It was super cool, so proud of myself, and they messed up. So I was like, no, I gotta save these. So what I did, and what I thought was going to help, was I put the resin piece back inside of its mold. It would be upside down because that's where the bubble ended up being. But anyway, I put it back inside of its mold, put the little dot part in where the jump ring would go in the mold, and then I dotted the top part with super glue. And my theory was that the super glue would dry, and because silicone I thought was just some amazing material that just doesn't get damaged at all, I thought that super glue wouldn't affect it. I was wrong. So yeah, I went to take out the piece the next day, and it was stuck. It was stuck in the mold. And luckily, thank God, I only added super glue to that tip part of the mold. Otherwise, I probably would have just ruined the whole thing. But I tried using a tack to push that out, you know, to get it out of the mold. And it ended up ripping, not the tack, but just by putting pressure on it, it ended up ripping a pretty good chunk out of that area. So that was very disappointing. So that was really sad, and the mold itself is now brittle in that area. So every time I make a resin piece in it, it gets stuck to it. Not super bad, but just enough to where, you know, it sucks. It doesn't come out as easy as it used to. And I'm sure that mold will get damaged over time. It left cracks in it, so that was really sad. That was one of my favorite pieces. It ended up having a white color whenever it dried, so I don't at all recommend using super glue. And it was also really hard of a texture compared to the resin itself, so it didn't go well together. I wouldn't recommend it at all. So I hope that you learned some things from me before, you know, you make the mistake. I'm just saving you some time and some resin, right? Thank you for watching. And if you have any tips and tricks that can help out anybody, please link them down below. I would love to see your thoughts. Link me some videos. I will totally watch them. Happy resin making, and I'll see you in the next video.